Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca from DevourDinner.com. Welcome to my kitchen, everyone, and happy Sunday. It is the first Sunday in December. Where has the time gone? It's been pretty crazy, but welcome. I'm excited to be here today. I hope you are too. We're going to make two different recipes today, one in the Instant Pot and one in the air fryer. And the reason I chose these recipes is because they are holiday staple recipes in our home and many of your home all season long, and I want to help you make your season go just a little bit smoother. So welcome. As you join in, please say hello. Let me know where you're from. And most importantly, can you tell me if our audio is working, if our technology is working all together, because that's what we want to hear. Hi, Doreen. Hi, Sydney. Sigrid, sorry, says sounds good. Let's just double check and see if we are live on YouTube as well. It looks like we are. We are live. Okay, we are live both on Facebook and on YouTube. And if you're watching the replay, welcome. Go ahead and leave any comments you have, any questions in the comments, and I'll try to circle back around and answer them. If you're watching me live, well, I want to answer your questions live while we're making these recipes. So like I said, today we're gonna make two recipes. We're gonna make air fryer candied pecans. You know when you go to the mall and you walk up and down the mall and you smell that wonderful cinnamon candied nut smell that just draws you in, you have to buy some. Well, I'm gonna show you how simple and easy it is to make those same candied pecans at home. And the fun trick about it is you can use pecans or walnuts or almonds or whatever nut you most prefer. It's just a quick and simple, easy recipe. And then we're going to make Hawaiian meatballs. Now, I know for me, it is snowing outside and I am not thinking tropical, but these Hawaiian meatballs and cocktail weenies are a hit. I bring them to any social, any potluck, even to a New Year's Eve party, and they are the first things to go, and I want to show you how easy they are to make. So welcome, welcome. Oh, look, we got a whole slew of people on today. How fun. Let's welcome Amy from the Instant Pot 101 for Beginners group. She's the admin over there. We often have many of her moderators too, so welcome to Amy and her team. And if you're hopping over from the Instant Pot 101 for Beginners group, welcome. I'm Rebecca from DevourDinner.com, where I like to focus on easy to make recipes for busy families using common ingredients. I go live to show you how to make these recipes. So you can either take notes and make them later, or you can make them live right with me, which is kind of fun too. Hi, Peggy, how are you? Hey, CJ, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Cranky Girl 13, hello, hello. Betty, hi, Kathy. Kathy's from Florida. And Peggy says, yay, Hawaiian meatballs are amazing. Okay, we're gonna start with the air fryer recipe because it takes a little bit longer and I wanna get it going. So I've been preheating my Kasori air fryer. You can also do these in the air fryer lid that sits on top of your Instant Pot or your pressure cooker, but I will be using the Kasori, which is a 5.8 quart basket, I believe is what it is. I have preheated that to 330 degrees. So let's cross our fingers and see if we can go top. Oh, we can. Look at that. We can go top down today. All right. I've got about 2 cups of pecans. Now I have picked through the pecans and I've tried to pull out any of the broken ones. The broken ones will still taste the same. But if you're going to give them away as gifts, obviously you want the pretty ones. So you want the whole half on the pecan. Now we're going to mix. This right here is a tablespoon of water, a tablespoon of honey, and a little bit of vanilla extract. I have heated this up in the microwave to heat up the honey so it all combines easier. And I'm just gonna pour that in this big bowl, make sure we get it all out. And then we're gonna mix with that about 1/3 cup of brown sugar. So we'll mix that right inside. And then I have some spices. So I've got some cinnamon, about a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, and about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're gonna mix that all in. The recipe will also tell you that we can mix in like a pinch of cayenne. If you want your nuts to have a little bit of heat to them, go ahead and add a little bit of cayenne to it. And then we're just gonna mix this up. So this just kind of makes a thick, pasty sauce. As you can see, it is runny, okay? To let you know the texture at home. And then we're gonna drop in about 2 cups of pecans. Now the goal is we want to coat our pecans in this mixture, because that is our candy. So we want to make sure that these pecans are coated. Now they don't have to be sloppy and dripping coated, but they do need to be coated. So take the time and really stir, 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 and make sure that they are a nice even coat. I also find when you heat up that honey, because it thins it out, it helps when it gets put onto the nuts. Now my nuts are typically pulled right from the freezer, so I do allow them to sit out for a little bit, kind of come to room temperature. It does help this process. Let's see, can you guys see that? So when I look at it, I still see places that the nuts are not covered. And the way you remedy that is just keep stirring and tossing. It's kind of like when you're mixing up Rice Krispie treats. You know, when you initially start stirring, not all the Rice Krispies get covered with marshmallow, but the more you stir, those Krispies, Rice Krispies just get covered and coated so nicely. So just keep stirring away. Now the other thing you will need for this after we've air fried it is a baking sheet, and I like to use a silicone liner. You could also use parchment paper, because when we pull them out of the air fryer, we're gonna lay them out to cool, and we wanna break them apart so that they're individual nuts instead of clumps. All right, let's get rid of this, and let's start this. There we go. I'm gonna put my parchment paper liner. That just helps me clean it later. And remember, whenever you're air frying, whether you're using the crisp lid or the Instant Pot lid, we want to do a single layer. So utilize all the space in the bottom of the basket. Try to separate some of these nuts so they're not so clumped together. Get a little bit of air through it. And then we're gonna pop these into the air fryer at 330 degrees for 8 minutes. And that's it. We will toss it halfway through, but that's all you have to do. Now, of course, I did all of that and I didn't even give you the recipe link. So let me grab that really fast. All right, I just put in the comments the link to the air fryer candied pecans. Now, I also have on my website a candied walnut recipe, and the candy for the walnut is a little bit different. So I'm gonna drop that link as well. I'm not gonna show you how to do it today, but you get the gist of it. You're gonna make kind of a sauce on it, and then you're gonna air fry it in the same way. It's also delicious, but it's more of a cinnamon sugar candy coating. It's just a little bit different. I like it too. It's not as sweet as this one. But let me drop that link for you. So now you've got both of those. Hey Phyllis, how are you? Phyllis says I popped over from YouTube. Hey Chris. Sigrid says top down looks good today, right? Okay, I have to tell you guys, I have been like stressing all week. I've tested. I'm not sure what happened last week. Even setting up cameras today, things were not connecting normally. And I just was like, oh my gosh, today is one of those days. Have you guys ever had one of those days? I know you have. I feel it's like being on YouTube and Facebook and in front of an audience. Sometimes I'm sure you think the day is perfect for the little portion of the day that you see. But let me tell you, today has been anything but perfect. We'll share more about it. We're fine. Everything's fine. Just a lot. just a lot. All right, now let's get started on the Hawaiian meatballs. This recipe is so simple, and you do not have to tell your guests or anybody how simple it is. But this is my standard go-to all season long. I always make sure that I have the cocktail weenies. So I just use one package. I noticed today, or when I bought these used to be 14 ounces and now they're 12 ounces. Hate when the stores do that. So I just use one package of the cocktail weenies, and then I'm using about 32 meatballs. And these are just the little appetizer cocktail size meatballs, not the big ones. So, this is so simple. Take your frozen meatballs. Let's go top down, because you're gonna miss it. You guys got your pen and pencils ready. This is so fast. Take your meatballs, dump them in. Take your cocktail weenies, dump them in. Okay, now, in order to pressure cook anything, we need thin liquid. The recipe calls for a cup of water, or a cup and a half of water if you're using an 8-quart Instant Pot or pressure cooker. Well, today I got the brilliant idea, why don't I just use the pineapple juice? Seems like a logical thing, right? So I drained my pineapple that I'm gonna be using later, and I added a little bit more water to it, and I'm gonna pour it on top. Uh-oh, looks like we have a little bit of a stowaway pineapple. We'll just leave it. Okay, that's it. That's the whole recipe. We're gonna close the lid, we're gonna close the pressure valve. Now this is where people look at the recipe and they ask me every single time. We're gonna set it for 0 minutes, which means you use the plus and minus keys and you adjust down to 0 minutes. Now I understand some of the newer Instant Pots and pressure cookers no longer allow you to go to 0 minutes. If that's the case, choose 1 minute, it'll be fine. But we're gonna do 0 minutes. So what's going to happen is it's going to heat up that bottom element. It's gonna heat up the bottom element and it's gonna pressure up the pressure cooker. It's gonna bring it up to pressure. And then it's gonna do its normal magic and it's gonna change on the front to read the time, which will be 0. And then it's gonna beep at us saying, hey, the time is up, it's done cooking, go ahead and release the pressure. But now think in your minds, as of right now, that bottom element is heating up. And it's gonna heat up that pineapple juice or the water, whatever you're choosing to use, and it's going to heat up the meatballs and the cocktail weenies, and it's starting to cook them. This is gonna take a few minutes to pressure up. And it's also gonna take a few minutes to release the pressure. All of that time, this is heating and cooking. So that's why it is so fast to do this recipe. So fast. All right, let me drop that recipe as well, that link to the Hawaiian meatballs, because it is such an easy one. In fact, my son today, he heard what recipes I was working on, and the first thing he said was, oh, I'm coming over. This is a recipe on my site that I have listed as like a main dish. You can serve it over rice, it's delicious. But I find in our home, it's an appetizer. I pull out the toothpicks and the kids just go to town with toothpicks and popping it in their mouth. It's wonderful for a game night. It's fantastic even for New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve to have some real food around. I know here at our home, we struggle with the real food on Christmas Eve. We're just eating cookies and sweets and cinnamon rolls and all the yummy things of the holiday season that we love, but we want some real food, and this comes in and solves a lot for us. So we really like that. All right, you guys, let's chat. There's so many of you on today. It's so wonderful to see you. Phyllis says, I hate those days, just breathe. You guys, I feel like I need to just breathe. Okay, so what's gone on today? Let's start at the beginning. Drop your questions and I'll answer questions while we're letting these things go. Actually, we gotta toss these nuts. We've got to toss the nuts. And I need my spoon. You guys want to see what I'm doing? Hold on. There we go. So I'm just tossing them. Now these have already cooked for 6 minutes. The total time to cook is only 8 minutes. So we're just gonna toss them and we're just gonna put them back in. Now it's gonna start back up. We're gonna let it do its thing. All right. You guys are quiet today. Let's see how the day started. All right, for all my dog lovers out there, I wanna see lots of thumbs up, lots of hearts for all my animal lovers. Whew. So Finn, you know Finn is an English cream golden retriever. Finn struggles in life. The poor dog, he just struggles. And he has had a lot of stomach issues, which get him up in the middle of the night a lot. And so we've been dealing with Finn the last 10 days of some struggles, and we have talked to his vet and different things to try to help remedy and help solve the situation, and usually we can get it solved and we move on. So we're tired because we're up with this dog, this very needy dog. So in the process of all of that this morning, I realized it's really cold in the house, like 64 degrees cold in the house and dropping. And I'm wondering why, because the heater's on, but why isn't it heating up? And we realize that the heater's blowing out cold air, and we start looking at the furnace, and the furnace is broken and doesn't work. So let me paint the picture for you. It's 23 degrees outside, and it's a windy, blustery, overcast day, and it's snowing right now. It's cold, and the furnace is out, and the temperature is dropping in the house. Now, fortunately, we're not going to freeze. It's just cold. You put on a sweatshirt, you bundle up in blankets, you deal with it, right? So in the middle of dealing with the furnace, which the furnace is still broken, it's going to be broke. Hopefully we can get it solved sometime early this week. Finn needs to go out again pretty abruptly. And so I go out with Finn and notice pretty quickly we've got a bigger problem with Finn. And so I call the emergency vet. So my husband is dealing with the furnace, and he's frustrated and he's tired. And I'm like, just need you to know this isn't our biggest problem today. The furnace is not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is this poor dog and what's going on now. And so we got a hold of the emergency vet and talked with the emergency vet, and we've got a plan in place. And we're really worried about Finn right now. Finn's not doing great. But we're dealing with a few things there. So if you're my animal lovers and you've given me lots of thumbs up and hearts, just say a little prayer for poor Finn, because it's kind of sad. So all of that combined, that's my day. And then not being able to get the camera to hook up. So nothing tragic, nothing huge at this point, just a lot of dumb stuff. Okay, here's our nuts, right? I'm gonna stir them one more time, but what I'm really gonna do is we're gonna pull this back into play. And I'm gonna dump the nuts out, right? Because as they cool, they harden. Now, do not put these on your baking sheet without a liner of some sort, because these will glue to your baking sheet, and that's not what you want, right? Isn't that pretty? So the goal here is to separate everything. And you want to do this pretty quickly because this is going to dry and harden pretty fast. And then it'll take a bit for it to actually cool, but you don't want to walk away from this. You can see they're already sticking to the spoon, and you don't want to touch them as I touched it, because that is hot sugar, right? And it's already coating. In fact, I'm going to pull out a different spoon that's not coated with sugar. Maybe it won't stick as bad. Now, another trick, as this is cooling, continually toss these nuts. Because as you toss the nuts, then they will break apart. Again, there's no reason why the nuts can't be stuck together, but I find when you want to package them up that you don't want them all stuck in a clump. You want them as individuals so that you can, you know, package them up in cute baggies. It's super fun to use like a piping bag, you know, the triangle piping bags. Fill those up and wrap them with a bow tie, a little tie. I have these fun little cones that I got off of Amazon that I use for little charcuterie cups. I use them for nuts like this. That way you can just put some in and then you can snack on them and walk around. So when these cool, I'll put them in those. But if you're gonna package them up and give them away, then you want some kind of a bag. And those piping triangle bags work amazing. All right. You guys, my house smells glorious. Absolutely glorious. Alana, thank you. Alana says you look pretty in that color. Alana, I'm in this. This is my cozy long sleeve shirt because my house is freezing. Oh, I haven't worn it in forever. And I was like, what long sleeve shirt do I have that I can put on today that I can wear for my live? And this is it because it's just so yummy and soft and cozy. And you know, when you're cold, you just want to be cozy and warm. Okay, now these are cooling off to the point where you can touch them. They still would be too hot to try to eat, I feel like. They're not too hot to touch, but some of these bigger piles, you notice, even if they just barely touch, they're still stuck together. Okay, confession time. Last week I told you that this week I was going to share with you some neighbor gifts. You guys, my week got away from me and it just today became the train wreck because I was going to get it all finished for you guys this morning and it didn't happen. So I apologize. I am planning on including it next week. Hoping to work on that later this afternoon. But, oh, you know what I do have? Let me drop a couple of links. So I have a new email series that you might be interested in for Devour Dinner for the holidays. It is a 4-day email series. If you want, that'll come once a day for the next 4 days on Christmas recipes and fun, popular recipes that the viewers have loved over the years to help you with your Christmas planning. And if you do not know, I am also doing the 12 days of Christmas cookies. 12 days of Christmas cookies with my other website, Best Cookie Recipes, which means one new recipe a day for the next 12 days. If truth be told, there's a few extra. There is lots of great new cookie recipes coming out on that website. So if you sign up for that email sequence right now, every day is the new cookie of the day, along with the favorite Christmas cookies from last season. So if you're baking, if you're doing cookie trays, if you're doing any of that kind of stuff, you might be interested in that one as well. So keep that in mind. And I just dropped both of those links. They are free. It's just an email newsletter that I send out to help you with your planning. Irene and Peggy, thank you. They're sending well wishes to Finn. Prayers for Finn. Kim says, prayers for you and Finn and for your family. Everything's falling apart and you seriously still showed up for all of us today. Of course. Of course. You know, for a half second, I was really worried before we had gotten a hold of the vet this morning. I almost thought in my mind, okay, I may have to cancel, but I'm not going to cancel till last minute. Because if I needed to be at the vet, then that's where I needed to be. But right now, we're kind of in a holding pattern. So until we know more, we're okay. That's why I'm here, because it's fun. You're here, you're my friends. And I love the energy that you as my friends give to me. And I know you would all worry if I canceled last minute. There's so many of you who would all of a sudden go, oh, what's going on? So I'm here to say you can have a bad day. You can have lots of stuff going on and you can still pick up the pieces and people love you just as you are. I promise. Okay, this just beeped. right? So we're gonna let the pressure out, move it away from your cabinets, move it away from your overhanging lights, because we all know it will ruin those over time. Open up your pressure valve, let that steam come out. We're gonna open it up. In the meantime, we're gonna let these just kind of cool, do their little thing, and we need to mix up our sauce. So, there we go. So in this little bowl, I have barbecue sauce. Choose your favorite barbecue sauce. Whatever it is, choose it. And then I've got some apricot preserves. Now, you want to substitute for something else? Go for it. I've used pineapple preserves. I've used orange marmalade. I use really whatever is in my fridge. Do it all the time. It's something about some of those fruits combined with the barbecue sauce that just give it great flavor. So we're gonna mix this up. This is what we're gonna add to the meatballs and the cocktail wieners. And then we're gonna throw in some pineapple. Now, don't do as I do. I unfortunately bought the tidbit pineapple. You want the chunk pineapple, the bigger pineapple pieces, especially if you're using toothpicks to pick them up. These are just too small. I mean, they taste the same, but just not as good. So just mix this up. When the pressure releases, we're going to drain the liquid. We don't need that liquid mixed into all of this. It becomes too runny. So we're gonna pour all that out. We're gonna discard it. And we'll go from there. What other fun things do I have for you guys today? Let's see, there was a lot of comments earlier that I don't think I saw. Want to make sure that we say hi to everybody. Hey Betty, did I say hi to you earlier? Betty was wearing a fun hat. That's cute. Very, very fun. Did you guys get all your Black Friday shopping done? Was it a whirlwind? Felt like a whirlwind here too. So many of you took advantage of the Clean Simple Eats protein that was on sale. I'm so excited for you. So excited for you. Can't even tell you. Come the new year, we'll tackle more eating healthy and all of that kind of stuff. But right now, we just want to get through the holiday. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm just draining off this liquid. And I'm losing a meatball. And a weenie. There's probably an easier way to do this, but not today. There we go. All right. There we go. Can you see that? So we're going to add the sauce. Just dump that on in. Now, if you just want to put half the sauce in and use the other half to dip, you can do that. You can put all of the sauce in. Once you get the sauce in, sometimes I do like to turn on the saute feature and just let it caramelize a little bit, but you don't have to. And then we're gonna add to it pineapple. Again, use the chunk pineapple, not the tidbit. Stir that up. And we'll put that over here. Let's pour this out. You can see how fast and easy this is. Like, this is something that your teenagers can help you put together for an event. Let's get this out of the way. Oops. We have a lot of pineapple right on top. So we'll just pull up some of these cocktail weenies and meatballs and spread the love around. What do you think? Does that look good? Let's get some contrast going on here. That helps you be able to see it a little bit more, but we're gonna finalize this. Look at this. Okay, these are cooled now. So look, we've been live 31 minutes. 31 minutes. We've made candied pecans and we've made the cocktail weenies. We have got delicious candied nuts. And we're just gonna fill these up. I have this fun little holder. Remember, this makes about 2 cups of candied pecans. And these are so fun to give away. They're fun to put in a little snack bag to take to work. And my favorite, you know those broken piece pecans that I picked out? I love to make these candied pecans with just those. And then I put them in a bag, a little baggie, and I use them for salads all season long. There we go. What do you think? Is that just so fun? So fun. All right, let's try it. I'll bring this up close. Oh, there we go. Look at that. This is just a cute little cocktail size. You can just pop in your mouth. So good. Now, I'll show you these nuts up close. There we go. It's a little dark, but you can see, maybe you can see them better that way. They're just all perfectly candy coated. These are delicious. They crunch, they're sweet, they make your house smell amazing. I truly, truly love making both of these all season long. Such a fun thing. Grab your fun cocktail toothpicks. I only have regular, and just set them out. Let your kids, let your family, invite neighbors over. Whatever event you're doing, take these meatballs. It is the simplest thing to make. It will save you time, and everyone will ask you for the recipe. I promise. They always do, and it's so much fun. So much fun. Natalie, yes, I know. Don't laugh. Phyllis says wonderful. Amy says, yep, they are the best for salads. Hey, Amy, how are you doing? I love these nuts for salads. Like, truth be told, that's how I would love to serve them. Grill up some chicken, grill up some steak, do a beautiful salad, add bell peppers, add cucumbers, add tomatoes, red onions, throw on some of the protein with a really fun dressing or vinaigrette. Like, and it's so good with some feta cheese. Like, salads are my jam. I could eat salads all year long, especially when you add in some of those extra ingredients. I don't want a boring plain salad. I want a variety of lettuces and those kind of things. Super fun. Amy says, yummy, I'm coming over for dinner. Amy, come on over. Come on over. Kathy says, I love my silicone mitts. I do too for doing these lives. You guys notice I use them all the time. And then I just wash them because they clean up and they wash really well. You're able to grab your liner. You're not getting burnt. All of the things. But those are my 2 recipes for today. Quick and simple. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope all is well with you. I hope everyone's Thanksgiving was fantastic. We're now in the first week of December, and I know December goes by like a blur. So remember to take a deep breath. Even in the midst of chaos and craziness that goes on in your homes or in your work environments, take a moment and take a deep breath. It'll be all right, I promise. If my day's gonna be all right, I promise your day will be too. But I hope you guys all have a fantastic week. And I'll be back next Sunday. Next Sunday, I will be doing neighbor gifts, some fun ideas. I've got some fun printables to add to neighbor gifts. So we may very well talk about these nuts again and a cute little tag. And if you're interested in my 12 days of Christmas cookie recipes, make sure you sign up with the link. So you'll be getting those emails. You can also sign up for the Devour Dinner emails. Just know those are 2 separate things. And so if you sign up for those, you're going to get 2 separate emails from me daily, which can seem like a lot. Kim says, so fun. Sigrid says, have a wonderful week. Amy says, thank you for including us. Once again, Amy is from the Instant Pot 101 for Beginners group. We are so thrilled to have their support. So thank you, Amy, and your amazing team. And if you have jumped over from the Instant Pot 101 for Beginners, I'm Rebecca from devourdinner.com, where I like to focus on easy to make recipes for busy families using common ingredients. These are the kind of foods that we eat in our home, and we love them, and I love sharing them with you, and it's just fun. So I will be back next Sunday, same time, same place. We'll do some fun stuff. And let's see what we can do. Enjoy the holiday season. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful week. Thanks for joining me. And we'll see you later. Bye now.